What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my new career mode. This is episode number 34, and we start today's episode off with Udinese coming in for our captain Maksimovic. The Serbian skipper is wanted by Udinese for £5.5 million. Although he's not growing, he's our captain, and he hasn't requested to leave or anything like our previous captain did, so I want to keep him here. He's only 24 years old, don't forget, so he's still got plenty of time to grow, but we say no, and there you go. Also, Aramu is on his way to Crotone for £160,000, which is totally fine for me. And also, Montpellier came back to us regarding Joseph Alexander Martinez, our young Venezuelan centre forward, and said they would match the £5.2 million counter offer we were asking for. So Martinez looks like he's on his way to the French side, and that's totally fine with me because, as I mentioned before, yes, he's only 22 years old on relatively low wages at 73 overall, and a pretty decent player to bring off the bench every now and then. He got a start in this game against Chievo Verona in the TIM Cup. I do like him as a youngster. I think we could do better than him, and for £5.2 million, that's not a bad deal at all. That's £3.2 million over his valuation, and he's only grown one rating since we came in the start of last season. So I'm fine with Martinez going to Montpellier. I really am. I know that some of you might be thinking, oh my god, man, he had good potential to grow and stuff, but I think he's only grown one rating, and he doesn't get too much game time. He doesn't get too much exposure in the first team, so I'm okay with him going, and we'll look to reinvest the money in another area in the squad, or possibly buy a replacement young striker. Still, we take on Chievo Verona for the first game of today's episode here in the TIM Cup. Now, last season we reached the quarterfinals before getting knocked out by Roma, and this season our aim is to reach the quarterfinals. So coming into this game, I was hopeful we would get the win, but I did decide to rest all 11 players anyway, just because it might be nice to have a good cup run here and there. But personally speaking, we're in the Champions League knockout stages. We're right now currently obviously going for the Serie A title, and we'll be hoping to do so for the rest of the season as well, as we look to try and stay in the top couple of positions. The TIM Cup is the least of our worries, so we've got bigger fish to fry. We don't really need to worry about this competition, even though if we do go on around the 16, the board may not be very happy. Still, we do get to take on Chievo Verona. There were quite a few chances in the first half, mainly for us and a couple for Chievo Verona as well. In the second half, 10 minutes after the restart, Lazzari almost opened the scoring there, but his shot was headed off the line and turned away. So still goalless in a pretty frustrating game, to be honest, because I failed to carve out too many opportunities against Chievo Verona. Like, I got a few here and there. This free kick from 27 yards out wasn't too far off target by Lazzari, but it does go over. But in the 90 minutes we played, I just didn't really look convincing in front of goal, and that's when you got a lack of first team players on the pitch. Immobile did come on late on, but other than that, we were playing fringe players and backup players, and that's why we were struggling really. And in extra time here, just 6 minutes after the normal time period ended into extra time, Chievo Verona almost took a shock lead there. That shot going just wide the post and behind for a goal kick. So still goalless as we were about to end the first period of extra time. It was such a poor game, it really was. We won ourselves yet another free kick here. Didn't really know who to give it to. Let Hong Chol stand over it with Lazzaro as well, but like an idiot, I pressed the wrong button here, ran over it with Hong Chol and struck it with Lazzaro from the wrong angle when I meant to do it the other way around. Even so, still Torino 0, Chievo Verona 0, and that sort of summed up the way I was looking in front of goal. Just didn't really seem to have much composure or much concentration, so still 0-0. And in the 105th minute, just before we went into half-time extra time, Chievo Verona almost took a shock lead here, but thankfully Janssen makes a great block and we get the ball away. So still goalless going into the second period of extra time. But 3 minutes after the restart here in the second half of extra time, Bernardeschi's persistence wins us the ball back down the right hand side, finds Martinez, and wouldn't you just know it, Joseph Alexander Martinez, the Venezuelan, playing, most likely his final game for the club, ends up scoring his final goal for the club. The Venezuelan smashes the ball in 5 minutes after the restart here in the second half of extra time and fires us into a 1-goal lead. So we were struggling in this game completely, but as Bernardeschi picks out Martinez here, he smashes the ball into the roof of the net, and what a great finish that was as well. Made even better by the fact he slipped over whilst taking the shot, which I thought was kind of funny. You can see him slip there as he takes the shot, so much power on it, but it was a brilliant strike into the back of the net. No chance for the goalkeeper, and it's Torino 1, Chievo Verona 0. So playing his final game for the club and scoring his final goal for the club as well. Really nice to see. That goal will surely send us through to the quarterfinals of the TIM Cup. However, we almost threw it away in the 113th minute. Merritt comes out for this long ball. No one tracks the runner, and thankfully the header goes onto the post and Darmian scrambles the ball away. But it was how the game would finish. Torino 1, Chievo Verona 0, and we are indeed through to the TIM Cup quarterfinals. quarterfinals. So delighted with that. We've reached a stage we told the board we would, so I'm very, very happy with that. And again, the TIM Cup, it's not something we're interested in at all. We're far more interested in the Champions League and the Serie A as well. But just matching that objective I felt was important enough, so I'm pretty pleased we did it. But regardless, where do you think we'll finish up in the TIM Cup? What stage of the TIM Cup do you think we'll reach? Comment below, let me know. Do you think we go all the way, possibly even win the cup? You never know, despite using backup players. What stage do you think we'll reach the TIM Cup before it comes to its end? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your opinions on where you think we'll reach, what stage you think we'll reach in this cup competition. Regardless, we make our first signing of the new season here, and it comes on a pre-contract as well. Clement Grenier from Lyon, whose name I'm sure I'm pronouncing wrong, has come in on a pre-contract. As you can see, Aramu goes to Crotone there for 160 grand. Grenier comes in, and I'm pretty happy about that for a pre-contract deal. He's only 24 years old, or was it 25? I think it was 24 years old, and he looks really, really decent as a 78 attacking midfielder, 78 overall attacking midfielder there. So he comes on a free transfer, 60 grand a week. Yes, a little bit steep, but when you consider the fact that we've actually sold quite a few midfielders over the past couple of seasons, I think that him coming in, adding some squad depth, and possibly getting straight into the first 11 as well, will be really, really good for us. I like the diamond we play right now as a 4-4-2 diamond central. I like Gabbiadini sitting at the top of that diamond. So if someone was going to get dropped out of Florenzi, Baselli, Çalhanoğlu, and also Gabbiadini as well, I'm not too sure who it would be. Maybe Grenier will be sitting on the bench. I'm not actually too sure, but it was a free transfer. Yes, we didn't exactly need him for next season, but it's a free transfer, 60 grand a week. He looks really, really decent at 78 overall already. A decent midfielder. We're not going to say no for him coming in on a free transfer. So he becomes our first signing of the new season, and we may make one or two other signings on a pre-contract as well. I've said before, when you first start off at a club like this, it's always good to try and abuse the pre-contract system, and we get our first one there of the season, and maybe we'll sign one or two more as well before the January window ends. Still take on Udinese for the second and final game of today's episode here, back in the Serie A, and the first chance fell to Udinese. It was a really good save by Bernie and cleared away. In the 34th minute, a great chance for us to take the lead, but Baselli's shot was well saved by the Udinese goalkeeper and turned behind for a corner. So still goalless in this game, with both sides having chances in the first half. Another great chance at the home side here in the 40th minute as Alain gets on the ball and finds Pereira, plays it inside towards Muriel, back towards Fernandez, but he doesn't really get hold of the shot, and it goes wide of the post and behind for a goal kick. So still Udinese 0, Torino 0 as we approach the halfway stage of the game. But just before we did go into the half-time break, we had a great chance here on stoppage time of the first half as Gabbiadini plays a great through ball towards Immobile, takes it round one, keeps on going, goes to shoot, wins it back, finds Hakan Çalhanoğlu, gets himself inside the area, and also scores as well. However, the goal isn't credited to Hakan Çalhanoğlu. It actually goes to Immobile instead, who gets credited with the goal. Çalhanoğlu's shot was definitely on target, but Immobile, as you can see, is trying to jump over the ball, ends up shinning the ball past the goalkeeper, deflecting it past him and into the back of the net. So it was on target, and usually when a shot is on target, and it takes a deflection, it usually goes down as a goal from the guy who's at the initial shot. But this one gets credited to Immobile. Fair enough, Ciro Immobile gets another goal. That's now his 9th goal in the Serie A this season on the stroke of half-time, and he makes it Udinese 0, Torino 1. 12 minutes after the restart, a great chance to make it 2-0 as Poloski finds Danilo, and our right-back crossed the ball into the centre. Immobile wins the header, but is denied his second goal of the game by a good stop by the goalkeeper as he turns behind for a corner. And in the 70th minute, another great chance to make it 2-0. Zardes off the bench, takes it around his man with a nice little body feint, picks out Poloski, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Can he keep his composure? Yes, he can. He makes it Udinese 0, Torino 2, and gets the second goal of the game. So first Immobile, now Poloski. I said this season what I was hoping is that these two would share the goals. Immobile has more, but even though I've been a little bit critical of Poloski this season, every now and then, he still has banged in a few goals for us. And I guess I am a little bit critical just because he set himself such a high, high level, if you will, because of how many goals he scored last season. But he still scored 7 goals. That's only 2 behind Immobile, our current leading goal scorer. So it's not too bad, even though it's a little bit disappointing when you consider how well he was doing at this stage last season. Regardless, Muriel had a great chance to get Udinese back in the game during the 78th minute, but his shot went just wide the post and behind for a goal kick, and he was subsequently subbed off the pitch. And from the goal kick, he'll be passed out from the back as Poloski, who scored our second goal, gets onto the ball, rolls that wide towards Danilo, our right back, plays it through towards Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who caused our first goal, if you will. Eventually, after a nice build-up, it comes to Zardes, and the American is denied by a really, really good save by the Udinese goalkeeper as he turns it behind for a corner. So great stop there, and it's still 2-0. But from the corner, it's crossed in by Hakan Çalhanoğlu. He picks out Maksimovic, and our Serbian skipper makes it Udinese 0, Torino 3. So returning in this game, game, Maximovic getting the goal, making it 3-0 to Torino, and that was a really solid header as well. And I thought it was kind of funny as well, because Udinese wanted to buy Maximovic a few days ago. Now he's going to score against them. Thought that was pretty funny as he gets his first goal of the Serie A this season. But regardless, it was how the game would finish. A 3-0 victory, a solid victory. The win streak in the league survives. The undefeated streak in all competitions survives. A really solid, comprehensive victory, and I thought it was well deserved as well. But that does end the episode, guys. So as always, big thank you for watching the video. Really hope you have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed today's episode of my new career mode, then please do leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of my new career mode very soon.